Hello, and welcome. You are about to enter the Large K Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting and fun episode of Large K Podcast. On this show, I interview bands and artists, and we talk about their music, influence, and how they got to where they're at. And I focus each episode on one artist, and for this episode, I had a great conversation with Matthew and Garrett of Andy's Room. They're an emo band from Fullerton, and my band, Cheer Up Charlie, have played a few shows with them in the past. Great guys. They recently released their EP, Yours Forever, and also have a tour coming up. We talked about the development of the band and their favorite shows. Alright, I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. Here's my interview with Andy's Room. Enjoy. I just didn't expect that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So let me just go over this really quickly. So it's Matt, right?
Yes.
And then
Garrett.
And Garrett. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it called? Because I know I've seen you guys like a lot of times at program, and I was wondering, were you guys involved in any other projects before being a part of Andy's Room, or even forming Andy's Room at all?
Nothing notable. I was in a few bands with like some friends that were just a jam, really.
Oh, okay.
And we would just like hang out and eat pizza.
Man, just chilling.
Cover songs in the garage here.
Cover songs and stuff like that. What kind of songs did you guys cover?
Oh, it was like cheesy like pop punk, like just like Blink rip-offs and like I don't know, everything I was listening to in sophomore year of high school. Yeah. Just like pop punk at the time. That was like kind of coming up, kind of like independent pop punk, but like it was kind of like Warped Tour circuit kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So sounds like a lot of fun, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely like just high school, like 14, 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. So Garrett, you've known Matt for a long time too?
We've known each other for like 2.5, 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
So we met like junior year during like basically I think the start of the second semester.
Oh, okay.
So it was like January.
Well, we met in like fall.
Oh yeah, fall.
We met in like the fall, like late fall, like November, probably 2014, and then we started jamming, like and becoming friends, like January, February.
Yeah. And that's when like floorboards happened.
Yeah, that's when Floorboards was a band.
Oh, okay.
Our first practice is technically in December, but we weren't doing anything until January.
Yeah.
We were sort of just jamming with like a bunch of different people and sort of figuring it out at that point. We didn't really have any set members or anything. It was sort of, I don't know.
There were a couple iterations of the band before it like actually settled into like what it is now. So like we had it was like there were a lot of other people playing with us that just went to high school with us, so like we knew. And it was like we were kind of like didn't know what we wanted to do, but we all kind of wanted to play music, so we just like kind of did like 3 different things, essentially like genres, and like the lineup would change like every week, basically for like a month until we found out like what we really wanted. It was like a 5-piece, and then it was a 4-piece, and then like then it was a 3-piece for like almost a year.
Yeah.
And then then we added another guitar player, we switched drummers. It was just like this current iteration of Band's Room, which I feel like is like the most clean beginning of like the band, has been together since like late November.
Okay.
So it's pretty new as far as like we got a new guitar player that we got that started playing with us in November.
Yeah, I saw that.
And having him was really cool because he's like really good at guitar. So like he showed us we just showed him the songs, because some of the songs were like 75% done that we just put out for the new stuff.
Okay.
And like he basically like put his little spin on them, and then right before we went in the studio, basically. So he only had like 2 months to learn the songs before we went in.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, he's been like, it's been awesome to have him in the band. Like this is definitely like this is definitely like my favorite iteration of the band, and like I think
sort of like a starting point for us to like really jump off of, and to really like push ourselves and promote ourselves off of this.
Yeah.
This is really like Andy's room right now.
Yeah.
And before, I think with floorboards and all of that was just sort of us figuring out what we wanted to do with the band.
I feel like everybody has a high school band, you know? Yeah. And like our high school band just happened to stay the same. Okay. And like we're restarting now. Yeah, everybody has a high school band that's like not that good, or like was like just like you just played music to play music. Like that's kind of what we did for like the last 2 years of high school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until really recently we were like, let's really like buckle down and trim the fat off and like do some work, essentially.
Like see where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
It's part of the experience, though, you know.
Exactly. I mean, I'm glad we went through like the early first 2 years like not being that good, because like we really like got to hone in on like what we weren't good at. And like get good at that.
Yeah, definitely. How did you guys transition from the name of Floorboards to Andy's Room? Like,
well, Floorboards was like, I literally don't know how we got that name. It was like 4 different things. It was like funny because there was like a SpongeBob reference, but there's also like the name of like a Real Friends song.
Right.
And so there's like a bunch of different things. So like it was like people were like, it was like kind of funny, but it was whatever. And then we just like, there was another band called Floorboards from Canada. Not that they were like, that was like threatening at all. We just like didn't want to have the name as someone else, like the same name as someone else.
Yeah.
They broke up, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But we just decided like Floorboards was Floorboards. We were gonna like kind of end it. We knew we wanted to kind of restart like this time last year.
Yeah.
We knew we wanted to like do something really different.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's just change the name, and like we had a new drummer since the last time we had recorded, and we had a new guitar player. So we were just like, let's just redo it. Let's just like restart it. And Andy's Room is just a Toy Story reference, but until they sue us, it's not. Or until they sue us, it is. And then when they sue us, it's not anymore. Because I know that the band, the Wonder Years, like they would just tell people it was like based off of the show.
Yeah,
and like now they like can't say that. So now they just say like it was something random. You know what I mean? Like, but it's clear, like.
Yeah, you know.
So like, it's Toy Story, but
it's Toy Story, but like
everybody's gotta keep it quiet.
Yeah, all right.
Because Disney's gonna come at us.
Keep it secret for right now. Yeah. No, I listened to because I listened to both of the old stuff from like the Floorboards, you know, EP, which I actually still enjoy.
Thank you.
To this day, like Merlin's a pretty cool song.
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Thank you.
I like the little finger picking you do.
Yeah. It's like that's like the most emo song ever made.
Yeah, I really like that track, and also and of course I listened to the newly released Yours Forever EP and stuff too, and I noticed the kind of like the shift in the sound that you guys currently have. It's definitely like more layered and kind of has that, not necessarily like shoegazy, it's kind of like chorusy in a sense too, you know. Was there anything that I don't want to necessarily say that you were listening to that inspired, but like, you know, was there anything
well, it was obviously Turnover. We were listening to a lot of Turnover.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah, and then but no, that's not the main reason though. It was just we knew that we wanted to do something that was kind of, I hate to say mature because it's not any more mature than anything else. It's just we just wanted to do something that we felt like we all could listen to in 5 years. And I feel like that Floorboards EP is something that I'm going to listen to in 5 years and be like, oh, so high school. You know what I mean? Or just like, so like underdeveloped, basically. Just like a new band.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do something like, okay, this is like definitely like a first step, like we were talking about before with like, this is us restarting in a way, the CP.
Yeah.
So for us, it was basically just like making it so that the EP was I don't know, just better songs. So that comes, like, layering comes with that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, like, we're writing better songs, we're listening to different things.
Yeah.
We're listening to a lot of Turnover, we're listening to a lot of Title Fight.
Yeah.
Not that we tried to emulate any of those bands, because I think that's what we tried to do with the first EP.
Yeah.
It was, like, emulate some of our favorite bands.
Yeah.
And we wanted to not do that this time, even though the influences come through very clearly, but I think that we all tried to do something unique to us, at least.
Yeah. No, that's what I think, too.
Yeah, and I think the thing about this EP is that we really went in with a mindset of, let's just put in whatever sounds good, no matter what influence, like, we took it from. If it didn't really fit, like, we just wanted to have leads that, you know, made the song better, even if they were, like, sort of out of the ordinary for the genre. Or just sort of, like, put anything that we could possibly, like, put into the song to make it better, rather than, you know, excluding something because we don't want to sound corny or something. We just made sure that everything that we did was just to benefit the song, and we didn't, like, hold back on any influences. And, like, when it was funny because we wrote the songs, like, before going in, they were pretty much done, and then we went in the studio. We were in the studio for like a month. We were in there for a long time, so it was like we were listening to music, like, on the car ride there, the car ride back, and just, like, listening to different types of music. And we were listening to so many different types of things that we didn't usually listen to. For some reason, that, like, month and a half we were in the studio, we were really listening to a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have if our producer Michael hadn't shown us, or, like, I don't know, there was, like, a vibe in the studio that, like, we wanted to do something different. So we were listening to different music, and, like, that all seeped in. Like, there were, like, a lot of there's, like, just a ton of, like, just, like, indie pop and, like, indie rock stuff that seeped its way in. And, like, I feel like we wrote the songs in one headspace and recorded them in another, and it's really cool because it blended two different kind of styles that we love. And, like, we kind of got to, like, showcase both of those things.
Definitely.
Which I'm super proud of. I think it sounds like my favorite bands all in one. But not, like, any one in particular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's why, like, I like, that's what I like about it the most, I think.
Definitely. It is like it definitely makes sense. Like, now that you guys are saying that this is, like, a starting point, you know, that's why, like, you guys kind of want to more go into, like, a more experimental horizon, and then, like, you know, really trying out new things. Because, I mean, I don't know, man, because, like, the first time, like, because I'm a fan of Title Fight and Turnover, like you guys were saying, and, like to you guys, wasn't it kind of, like, eye-opening, like, the first time you listened to, like, what was it, Peripheral Vision, or, like, Hyperview and stuff? What was you guys' thought, like, especially, like, listening to that record for the first time?
That you can do whatever you want in a band, and, like, if you're good, it'll be good. You know what I mean? Like, some of both of those bands' early stuff was stuff I loved in high school, and, like, still love, but and the stuff they're doing now is stuff I love now. So it's, like, it's just cool that, like, they can do that and, like, not get away with it because they're just doing whatever they want, but kind of get away with it in the sense that, like, no one would like expect any of that to happen. Like, you couldn't tell anybody in 2012 that Turnover was going to put out Peripheral Vision, like, but, like, they did, and it's so good.
It's a great album.
You know what I mean? And it like really, like, just shows, like, I feel like if you have good songs, people will stick behind them, and, like, if you're good songwriters, because, like, and if you just keep working, you can kind of do whatever you want in the end. So
okay, no.
I mean, I don't know. What did you feel like when you heard those albums? Because, like, for me, it was crazy. Like, I was like, wow, like, this is so cool because it's so thought out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think those albums were sort of, like, I guess, like, not an upgrade, but it's just, like, a step forward or a step above, you know, some of their earlier stuff. In the sense of how they went about it when they recorded it and the layers that they added to it. And, you know, like, the introductions or, like, you know, like, the transitions between the songs. Like, the albums flowed very well, and I think that's also something that is really important in albums. And I don't know, I think those albums definitely were a vibe that they had to them. And
it definitely set a tone that the scene that we exist in, like, hadn't seen. And, like, granted, like, there's a bunch of bands that sound like both of those bands that have existed for years and years. But, like, not in the way they, like, I don't know, Title Fight and Turnover especially, like, existing in the scene they do, I just feel like they took something that they loved from a scene that already existed and, like, showed it to a bunch of kids that wouldn't have known it otherwise.
That's true.
Like, I would have, like, known that much about those kinds of, like, that kind of indie rock that's super, like, emotional. Because indie rock to me has always been, like, there's always been some sort of electronic aspect of it, and the lyrics are always abstract.
Yeah.
But like with they were very like Title Fight gets abstract, but like Turnover's lyrics are very straightforward.
Right.
And that's what you'd find in like a pop punk band or an emo band.
Exactly. Yeah,
and like finding that with like set to music that's very not more mature, but just a little more thought out, I guess, is like definitely like it's a cool vibe to be on.
Yeah, definitely.
And it like really influenced us, I think, to like put straightforward lyrics on something that maybe might not be straightforward musically.
Yeah, definitely.
That might have more layers or more maturity in the sound of the like sonically. I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, and like I want to go back to the EP on the Yours Forever. I would say like my favorite song on there is Main. But I think it's the first song that you guys put out before like, actually releasing the whole thing. Yeah, because of like just the whole layer of it and just how you guys transitioned was really, really cool. And I was wondering, what is you guys' favorite track from the EP?
Oof. When we were recording, my favorite track was Something's Missing, and then after the fact, it's probably favorite. Okay, I'll give you three different. That's fine. Yeah. 3 different ones. Even though there's only 5 songs. Yeah. But when we were writing, Yours Forever was my favorite.
Yeah.
When we were recording, Something's Missing was my favorite. And now looking back, I really like Drag Me Out, but I would probably say that Yours Forever is still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And the intro, I'm just listening to all the songs. The intro though is really cool too because I just love the vibe of that song. Yeah. I love listening to it and how it goes right into Drag Me Out. I think it's like I always want to hear that whenever I want to. Like whenever I'm like, oh, let me listen to my own music, because musicians are always like that. They're like, I want to listen to my own music for like a week after they put it out.
Yeah.
And you see them all like selfish and stuff, but it's like no, like I'm proud of it. Yeah. So like I listened to it and I was like, I love that transition into Drag Me Out. And it's super cool.
Yeah. So I think like my favorite song during recording was probably Drag Me Out.
Drag Me Out. Yeah.
Because that song like is just really fun.
Oh, and that song changed so much in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The song was very different, and then when we recorded it. It took a hold. Same with Something's Missing. Both of those songs were super different.
We like stripped it apart and like put things in there that we didn't know we were gonna do.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
And like we made like I don't know. There's like a really solid bass line through the verse that wasn't as solid before because there was like different things going on. Like guitars were chugging, and then instead it was like a lot of like ambient layering instead on guitars instead.
Yeah.
So it really like promoted the bass line, the drums, the beat was way more important once we stripped away the like chugging guitars. It totally made like a whole different song.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah, so I think Drag Me Out was my favorite to record. I think Yours Forever is my favorite to play.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's just an energy about that song. We all play it with such a, I don't know, I guess just an energy to it that it's really fun and you get a good vibe, and it's really kind of gives me goosebumps towards the end of it, I guess. I mean,
during a performance.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to perform that song. Also, I think Main is like the most dynamic song that we have as far as the parts that it has to it.
Yeah.
And sort of the different vibes you get like from the beginning to the middle to the end, like the different, like the bridge and all that with the sort of like the chugs, or I guess you know, like that part. I just think that song has like some cool parts to it, and that's probably my favorite song overall now.
Yeah.
Listening back.
No, definitely, man. Not because now that you guys have like started off like, you know, basically restarted as a band, and also like with this like new sound too. Like when you guys play your set, do you guys primarily play your like new stuff, or do you still kind of mix in your like older floorboards material too?
We were pretty. At first, when we were recording, we were like, we're never playing the old stuff again.
Okay.
And then once we started practicing a set, it became kind of clear that we probably were going to throw 1 or 2 songs in each set that were old.
Yeah.
Just to fill time, and until we put another single out or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, our set's pretty short, even with the... we put in 2 songs. We put Flower from the first EP.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, everybody's favorite from that one. And then we put in Pathetic because it's short. So we put those 2 songs in. And I'm sure in a few months we'll probably take one of those out. But other than that, we play 4 of the 5 on the EP. We don't play Something's Missing, but a lot of people have been asking us to play it, so maybe we'll start playing that one instead of like one of the older songs.
Yeah.
But that song's also kind of hard too because it has capos, and it's like a different. It's like without playing Something's Missing, I can just show up without a capo and not have to worry about having a capo. And for me, like I always lose my capo, so like not having to play it is so much less stress on me.
Yeah, and honestly, like focusing on like the set transitions and just making the whole live performance go smoothly, like that song right now is just
it kind of we're not prepared to play it because like there's no way to transition into putting a capo on and retuning, so like we're just like, and we're trying to make it very linear like the show. So it's like the first, like it's a 6-song set, and we play the first 3 and then we talk while we tune, and then we play 2, and then we talk while we tune, and then we play the last one.
Right,
so it's
yeah,
very
yeah.
like, it's not as like, some bands will play a song and they'll like talk and they'll like have like this banter or whatever. Like we've never been good at that. We're like really bad. Well, I'm really bad at talking on stage, so I try to keep it as like engaging as possible without me having to say anything.
Right. Yeah.
Because I never know what to say. Because you can't learn any of that. You gotta just be good at that, and I'm not very good at it. So
say a joke or two, or say this next song is, or
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, and even then I always like screw it up and say something stupid. So it's like
the music speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's like I have a not without getting too into gear. Like I have a freeze pedal on my pedal board. I can just like play a note, freeze it, and like for some reason like keeping the like ambient note frozen keeps people like on edge, makes people like want to hear what's next, rather than just being dead sound and like the twang of strings being tuned in the background. There's like a little something, like a little pad of sound that you can they can just listen to and like while we tune, so I don't have to say anything stupid.
Yeah, I understand. It's also cool because we're doing this interview right now like in the practice space in Fullerton, but also the fact that you guys play a lot at Program, and I was wondering like what's the connection that you guys have? Like do you get along with the owner pretty well, and like you guys have like, because you guys play shows very consistently with like any touring band that's coming around too. So like, and I think that's like really really cool.
Thanks. We've been playing Programs since we started. Basically, I think that was like our third or fourth show. Actually got hit up on Facebook by like someone who's promoting there, who actually is like working with us now. His name is Zane, and he didn't really know who we were. He just knew we played some shows, and we played our first show there, and it was really fun. And like we met Chris, who owns it, and we just became friends. So yeah, we've been playing there a lot over the last few years. It's just really like you said, like every touring band that's coming through Fullerton goes there, and we are usually playing it. And we're trying to play more places, but it's definitely like been a place for us to grow a lot.
It's kind of like our hometown spot. I mean, it's
that's
less than a mile away from this exact spot that we're here at right now. So
Chris is great. Chris has done a lot for music in the local scene. Fullerton didn't really have a huge like center for like DIY bands before that, at least for me. Like I wasn't really involved until like I figured out about Program. Program was like my entry level into DIY. And I started going to shows there, and then we played there, and like that was big for me just because like it was a record store and a skate shop. So it is a record store, not was, but so like I would go in there and I'd get a record, and then like I'd have friends who'd go in there and get skate stuff, and it was just like cool because it had punk and like indie and hardcore and stuff that like you don't find at Urban Outfitters, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which when you're 15 is like the coolest thing ever. It's like, wow, there's a Green Day record here. Even though like they're a huge band, like you still aren't gonna find that at Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It was cool. They've done a lot for like music here. Like, a lot of bands, like that's definitely the go-to spot now if you're going on tour. And that's cool. Like it's cool that we have that. And I'm like happy to like contribute to that.
No, definitely. I feel the same way too. Now this next question is a question that I love asking. I do this in every podcast episode, but in you guys' experience, you guys could answer this individually. But what was the most memorable show that you've ever been to? And this isn't the one that you've played, but this is the one that
been to
that you've seen, and you could include both DIY shows or even like a big venue show too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You want to go first?
Wow, it's hard to pick one because there's actually two that come to mind.
Yeah, go for it. Say both of them.
All right, well, one of the shows that I've been to, and it was like really crazy for me, was Green Day at the Palladium. And I camped out there for like a long time.
We literally got there 21 hours early. And we camped out overnight.
Damn.
Because Green Day's our favorite band.
And we've never seen them before, so me and Matt decided like this is our time to go. This is our time to shine. We got to see Green Day. And the Palladium's only like a 3,000 cap venue, so it's not like seeing them at like the Staples Center or anything.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it was really cool. I got, front row barrier and just barricade and just stayed there like the whole time. So
yeah, it was awesome.
It was like a 2.5 hour set.
That was a great show.
Yeah, wow. Dog Party opened. So that was a really cool show, and I think that left me kind of speechless. That was like my favorite band growing up, and I finally got to see them. It was a dream come true, basically.
Yeah.
And then also a show that we've kind of been involved in and that like kind of we're at was Dad's Fest, which was January of
2016.
2016.
But it was before we put out the first EP.
Yeah. And that was just really cool because that was just so many bands that we knew and were listening to and were friends with were there, and it was just like a really cool like melting pot of all like the local bands, I guess, and they all came together and sort of played really killer sets. There's like 25 bands.
It was the last. It was the last Dad's Den show. Dad's Den was like a venue in Wildomar.
Yeah.
And that was cool because our friend Pierce, who used to run that, I think he's starting to do shows there again. But he worked really hard to get that space going and worked really hard to keep it up. Because in the Inland Empire, there was nowhere to play if you were a touring band. So now there was. The Dad's Den was great. That was a great show. That was really fun too. Yeah. It was all like he said, like all of our peers were there, so it was like all just like a bunch of people hanging out.
Right. We met a lot of people there actually.
That actually like helped. Like we still have friends with.
That's great.
Yeah. For me, coolest show I went to. I'll give you two. Well, I'll give you this one. This one's good. I went to see this band, this pop punk. Okay, I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore or junior. I went to see this pop punk band at Chain called Neck Deep, and they played this like their second time I think ever. They're from the UK.
Yeah,
it's the second time in the US. They played. Their drummer like runs off the stage, and he's sick. And they were like, "Does anybody know how to play our songs on drums?" And I had like 3 songs. I knew how to play 3 songs on drums. I don't play drums in this band, but like I've been playing drums for a while.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I do." So I went up there. I played 2 songs with them. And that was just cool because they were at the time they were like one of my favorite bands, and then like I got to play on stage with them. Like that's cool. Like it was cool.
Cool.
But that was just cool just because of that. Looking back on it, like it was an alright show. They played alright. It's like it's not they're not like anything great. Yeah. But like looking back on it's whatever. But like just being able to play that was sick.
Yeah.
But other than that, we opened. Well, we kind of played this, but I would have gone to it otherwise. We opened for Tiny Moving Parts in. Just last summer, and that was cool just to watch them play because they're like they were one of my favorite bands too, and like I got to see them like right up front. We got to play, which was cool, so I didn't have to pay.
Okay.
And then so when we were up front, we were just like, this is the first time they'd come to Southern California since I'd gotten super into them.
Yeah.
So I knew every word for the first time. I'd seen them like twice before, but I didn't know all the words.
Yeah.
And so like I knew all the words, and it was like it was cool. It was cool. Like it was definitely cool to like play too and like come full circle, but. Yeah, that was a cool show.
Damn, that's cool. The wait, so you guys opened for Tiny Moving Parts at that time. So
yes.
like that means Tiny Moving Parts actually got to hear Andy's room too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, they were nice. Like I don't know how much they listened like our set, but they were really nice. Like they were really nice to us when we were talking to them like backstage and after the show.
Yeah.
They're just cool. They're cool. They're a great band too.
Really
just great musicians.
Just genuine people.
Yeah.
I actually had a conversation with Dylan for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, so. He's a cool guy. Like, yeah. The first show, the first time I saw Timing Parts, I was with Garrett. It was like the second or third show we'd ever been to together. We like barely had met, and like we went to see them at Chain with You Blew It, and I didn't know who they were. Like I only knew like 1 or 2 songs, but like the way they played, like how they played, how technical they were, how like it was crazy. Like just watching it, and we watched it from the back, it was just like this is really cool. Like they're really good at playing, and then like that really honestly like influenced us like that whole EP. Like we listened to a lot of Tiny Moving Parts when we were writing that first EP.
I think that was my second Chain show, but I think that was like the first Chain show or pretty much any like rock show that I went to that I saw people like stage diving, doing all that, and it was like really cool to see, and I guess it was really inspiring too to like want to play in a band that like
can tour
and like just has fans that are just that crazy about them that they just like go off to their music basically.
Yeah, you guys are going to be playing at Chain soon too, right?
Yeah. Saturday.
2 days.
We're playing with Seaway.
Yeah.
And Seaway is a band from Canada. Seaway was like the first or second show I ever went to in my entire life. Like their first U.S. tour.
Right.
It was like 2013, and it was my first time I ever went to Chain. First time I ever went to any like big punk, quote unquote punk show.
Yeah.
And like they played, and I like knew 1 song, and I only went for like the 1 song, but I knew a different band. I knew another band that was playing, but like I only knew one of their songs, and it was cool because like that was like my first show. Like I went to like I've been to concerts with my family, but like that was like first show I went to by myself.
Yeah.
So like being able to play with them is honestly like really sick.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like I'm really excited to play with them. And playing Chain's always fun because because it's like a legit venue, you know.
Yeah.
It would feel a little more special, even though it's not special. But you always feel like, oh, there's lights and there's a stage, like, wow.
No, a lot of big bands have played there, so you know.
Yeah.
It's a little starting point, right?
Yeah.
Usually.
It's kind of insane. Like I was talking about this with Garrett probably like a month ago. It's kind of insane how like crazy established that venue is.
Yeah.
And like we're just so close to it. Like any of us could go see a show there at any time.
Yeah.
Like just drive over.
It's really cool that it's only like 10 minutes away, and a bunch of bands that we like love have gone through there, and we got to see shows there.
Legendary bands too, like you know what I mean, like just throughout the years. It's awesome.
No, it's not.
And it's still like a pretty small venue too.
Yeah.
So it's cool that all those bands have gone through. You know, it's only like 250 cap probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of crazy too. I mean, don't you think it's also a trip, the fact that like you listened to these bands in the past and now you're opening for them?
We've opened for like 3. Okay, like we played Seaway, we played Time Moving Parts, and we played with this band called Moose Blood, and those are like the 3 probably coolest chain shows we've ever played.
Yeah,
just because like they just brought kids that we wouldn't have, you know what I mean? Just because like we don't have the reach they do, so it was cool to play in front of like kind of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So like that's always fun, and like it's always so cool when you know who the band is. Like when you're a fan of the band. You're just a fan, and like you get to play. It's cool. It's definitely like such a sick opportunity that we can play there whenever.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, and it's something that honestly, before like the whole band started like really getting formed and all that, I didn't really think that we'd be able to play with like Tiny Moving Parts or like Moose Blood or any of those other bands, because I just didn't like know that you could actually do that, you know, before. So I wasn't really involved in any other bands, and I think we're just like dedicated, and we all want to like make this band like as successful as it possibly can be.
Yeah.
Just like basically putting our best efforts in to just sound the best we can every time we play.
Yeah.
Or just not like slacking, or basically just putting your best effort in, because it's all important to us.
Yeah.
Like music and all that, so I guess we all just try to like pull our own weight.
Yeah, I can see that. And now, because you guys already released new music, and I don't know, were you saying something about like possibly releasing another single, or were you guys like getting into recording again?
We don't have any songs like left from that session that we could put out as a single, but like we've definitely jammed a few times and kind of seen like maybe a direction we could take a single. We haven't written anything. There's nothing written. We have like no songs that haven't been recorded. We have like everything that we've recorded we have out, and everything we have written we have out. We're not really working on new music either, but it would be cool to put a single out like end of summer, maybe fall, just to keep it like fresh. Nice. To maybe, and then like add, like I said, add a new song.
Yeah.
Just to like put something else in there.
Yeah. Guys, so do you guys possibly have any like tour or anything like that to support?
Yes, we're doing full West Coast in July. With our friends in Old Notes. We're like an emo band from Rancho Cucamonga.
I heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, and they're great guys, and I'm stoked to go out with them. It's 20 days. I think it's 19 shows.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's like the coolest thing I've ever done. Like definitely like the most.
It's like an adventure kind of.
Yeah,
it's the dream, right?
Yeah, we're just stoked to do it. Like we're gonna lose hella money, and it's gonna be great. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna like, but it's gonna be fun just to do, and kind of like
probably
put time in and just learn how to tour and like learn how to live with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I think all of us, even though we know it's going to be a stressful, like, hard time.
No AC in the van.
No AC in the van, so we're kind of screwed on that, but we'll figure it out.
Yesterday we were driving, and it was like 85 degrees or 89 degrees, and like we're sweating in the car,
like
AC pumping, we're like, it's 6 o'clock, we're like going through, like, it's so hot, and Garrett's like, he's like, wait till it's 1:15 in Arizona in July or something. It was just like, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy, like, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, wow. So you guys are gonna go all the way over there too, then? Wow, Arizona.
Yeah, we're going all the way up the coast. So I think it's like the majority of the shows are on the coast. So it's like, I think it's like 10 shows on the coast.
Right. Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 are in California.
Yeah.
And then we go to Colorado. We go to Utah,
Idaho.
Oh wow.
And then we go to Arizona, Vegas, come back here.
Yeah. So
it's just a little loop of the western region.
There we go. Yeah. Well, you guys are gonna introduce a lot of people to your new music, and
hopefully,
yeah.
Hopefully,
it's gonna be a pretty exciting time. I mean, besides the whole AC situation, you know,
just, you know, be healthy, don't get sick and shit, you know?
Yeah. That's the worst.
We'll try not to.
Yeah.
Because that'll really suck.
Try to be fed as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, you know, before I wrap this interview up, you know, I just want to say thank you for, you know,
thank you.
really participating in this, because, you know, I've always listened to you guys and, like, you know, really support the music, and it's always been fun playing shows with you guys too. So, like,
yeah,
and that's always been great. But before we end this, I was wondering if you guys want to choose a song off of your EP to end the show with.
Ooh, I would say Yours Forever, but it's a little long. I don't know if you want to take 5 minutes as the whole outro of the thing. But it's a little long, but I would say Yours Forever, and if you don't want to do that one, then Main.
Yeah, want to do, it doesn't matter, like, whatever.
Yours Forever, then, because that's just the best song. Like, it literally just is, and I think people
it
can
represents what the whole EP was.
Yeah, I think people are gonna listen. I think so. If you show that song to someone and, like, that's the first song they hear, they might be stoked to hear more. So
okay,
I think that'd be a cool one.
All right, then we'll do that then. All right,
awesome.
Thank you very
again.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Things are happening so vaguely.
was Andy's room. If you want to hear more of their stuff, check out the Bandcamp link I included in the description box below. I'm going to be putting out more episodes, so be ready, guys. Be ready. More band interview, more podcast in your face. You know what I mean. But yeah, anyway, my name is Kazu, and I'll see you guys next time on the best music podcast of all time. You know what it is. It's Large K. Large K. Large K. Large K Podcast. Yeah.